Welcome to the Fate Spun channel, a place where every story will make you feel, wonder, and hold your breath. Are you ready? Then go ahead. Story number 1. My guilty secret about my best friend. I don't even know where to begin, so I guess I'll just say it. I'm in love with my best friend's wife. It started innocently enough. Matt and I have been best friends since college, nearly 15 years now. We've been through everything together. Late-night study sessions, heartbreaks, and eventually, watching each other settle into adulthood. When he met Sarah, I was the first to know. I remember how his voice lit up the day he told me about her, how he described her laugh, her kindness, and her smile. When I met her in person, I got it instantly. Sarah wasn't just beautiful. She had this energy about her that made everyone feel like the most important person in the room. She remembered details, asked thoughtful questions, and made me feel like I mattered in a way no one had before. At first, I chalked it up to admiration. After all, she was my best friend's girlfriend. But over time, those feelings started to shift into something more. I've never acted on it, and I never will. But it's torture being around her sometimes. They invite me over for dinner almost every week, and I sit there smiling and laughing, pretending I'm just the loyal best friend. The thing is, I am happy for Matt. He's one of the best people I know, and he deserves the life he's built with Sarah. But that doesn't stop the guilt from eating me alive every time I catch myself lingering on her smile or feeling a pang of jealousy when she leans into him. A few months ago, Matt confided in me that they were trying for a baby. He was so excited, and I did my best to match his energy, but inside I felt like I was suffocating. The idea of them starting a family should make me happy. It does, in a way. But it also cements the reality that Sarah is completely out of reach. Last weekend, something happened that's been haunting me. Sarah and I were in the kitchen alone, washing dishes after dinner. She thanked me for always being such a good friend to Matt, and said she didn't know what he'd do without me. She smiled in that way she does, and for a split second, I thought I saw something in her eyes, something more. But maybe it was just my imagination, my own feelings projected onto her. I've thought about distancing myself, but the idea of losing both Matt and Sarah is unbearable. So I'm stuck in this endless loop of longing and guilt. I love my best friend like a brother, and I love his wife in a way I shouldn't. I don't know what I'm hoping to get from sharing this, but I just needed to say it out loud, even anonymously. It's a secret I'll carry with me forever, but at least here, I can let it breathe for a moment. Story number 2. The family heirloom I destroyed. I've been holding on to this for years, and it's eaten me alive ever since. I ruined something that wasn't mine, and no one knows it was me. My grandfather was a man of tradition and family pride. He didn't talk much, but when he did, he had a way of making everyone listen. One of his most prized possessions was an antique pocket watch that had been passed down for generations. It wasn't flashy, just a simple gold watch with initials engraved on the back, but to him, it was everything. He always said it symbolized our family's perseverance and history. When I turned 17, I had a rebellious streak a mile wide. My parents were strict, and I was always looking for ways to push boundaries. One afternoon, while visiting my grandparents, I found myself in their bedroom. I wasn't supposed to be in there, but curiosity got the better of me. That's when I saw the pocket watch, sitting on the dresser in its velvet-lined box. I'd seen it a few times before, but up close, it seemed almost magical. I picked it up, felt its weight, and wound it up just to hear the ticking. For some reason, I thought it would be fun to sneak it out for the weekend, just to show off to my friends. It was the dumbest decision of my life. At a party later that night, someone bumped into me, and the watch slipped from my pocket. It hit the concrete patio with a sickening crack. The glass face shattered, and one of the hands broke off completely. I panicked, scooping up the pieces and shoving them into my jacket. I didn't know how to fix it, and I didn't have the guts to tell anyone what happened. The next morning, I wrapped it in tissue paper, put it back in its box, and slid it into the drawer where I'd found it. I told myself I'd confess eventually, but I never did. A month later, my grandfather opened the watch to show it to someone, and I'll never forget the look on his face. He didn't get angry. He just went quiet in a way that made me feel even worse. He assumed it had broken over time, and everyone chalked it up to age. But I knew the truth, and I've carried that weight ever since. My grandfather passed away a few years later, and the watch was buried with him. I never got the chance to tell him the truth, and maybe that's for the best. But sometimes late at night, I wonder what he would have said if I just owned up to it. Would he have forgiven me? Or would I have broken more than just a family heirloom? I'll never know. Story number 3. The lie that ruined my best friend's wedding. I never thought a small lie could spiral so far out of control, but it did. It started as a joke, something meant to be harmless, but ended with me losing one of the most important people in my life. My best friend Lily and I grew up together. She was the kind of person who always had her life planned out. Perfect career, perfect house, and of course, the perfect wedding. When she got engaged to her fiancé Mark, I was thrilled for her. Mark was kind, funny, and genuinely adored her. But as the maid of honor, I also got a front row seat to all the wedding stress. One night, about 2 months before the wedding, we were at her apartment having a wine-fueled heart-to-heart. She was venting about everything, the caterers, the venue, even the color of the napkins. Somewhere in that whirlwind of emotions, she looked at me and asked, "Do you think Mark and I are really meant to be?" It caught me off guard. I knew she wasn't seriously questioning her relationship. She was just overwhelmed. But in my slightly tipsy state, I said something I'd regret forever. Well, Mark used to have a thing for me, right? It wasn't true, not even close. Mark had always been nothing but respectful and loyal to Lily. I don't even know why I said it. Maybe part of me wanted to seem interesting, or maybe I wanted to distract her from her doubts. Either way, it was a lie. Lily froze, staring at me with wide eyes. "What do you mean?" she asked. I tried to backtrack, saying it was just a passing comment, but the damage was done. I saw the flicker of doubt take root in her mind. The weeks leading up to the wedding were tense. Lily didn't mention what I'd said again, but I noticed the way she started acting around Mark. Quieter, more suspicious. The wedding went ahead as planned, and I thought I'd gotten away with my stupid lie. But a month later, Lily called me in tears. She told me she'd confronted Mark about what I'd said, and it had led to a massive fight. Mark denied everything, of course, but Lily admitted she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Their trust was fractured, and I was the one who had cracked it. I tried to confess, to explain that it had been a stupid, drunken mistake, but it was too late. Lily told me she couldn't believe I would plant such a toxic seed in her mind, and that our friendship was over. I've spent years regretting that moment. I don't even know if Lily and Mark are still together because I've never had the courage to reach out again. It's amazing how one careless lie can destroy something so precious. I'll carry that guilt for the rest of my life. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to leave a comment. See you in the next video. Good luck!